Hey guys, what is going on? Today I'm going to be talking about these rumors and I guess reports. There have been reports that Kyler Murray is likely to declare for the 2019 NFL Draft. So as we all know, Kyler Murray was drafted 9th overall by the Oakland Athletics in last year's MLB Draft. But, then he had an outstanding season in college football. It was kind of implied, I guess, in his contract, or the A's thought that, he would have this one season to play college football and then he would report to spring training. But, he had a crazy good season. He won the Heisman. He took Oklahoma to the college football playoffs. I mean, they lost in the first game, but they still made it to the college football playoffs, which is hard because, it's only 4 teams. And, I mean, you could argue that he was the face of college football this year. I mean, just from winning the Heisman, all the crazy plays, his highlights were all over the place. And I think everyone enjoyed watching him. I don't think anyone disliked watching him. I mean, I know for sure I thought he was just so talented to watch. And I feel in the back of my head, I was just like, oh, it's too bad this guy is going to go play baseball. He's so talented. He's so athletic. Like, it's too bad we're not going to be able to see him play football again. But, as the season progressed and as, he won the Heisman and they made the college football playoffs, you could kind of get a vibe, and I think everyone kind of felt these vibes from his interviews that, oh, maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance he does play football and baseball. Maybe there's a chance he will still be able to play football in the future somehow. And, yeah, so that's what these reports are, and that's what these rumors are. I think one of the reports was that the A's expect him to declare for the draft. So there hasn't been any word from Kyler Murray or his agent. And by this coming Monday, the 14th, all underclassmen have to declare, and he's an underclassman. So by the 14th, we will know definitely if Kyler Murray is declaring for the 2019 NFL Draft. And let me talk about, not the pros and the cons, because I'm not him, so obviously he's the one to make that decision. But I feel like people online are really... there's two separate sides. There's the baseball side that people are like, oh my god, he has to play baseball. It's so stupid if he doesn't play baseball. And then there's the football side. It's like, oh my god, he has to play baseball. Why would he want to play? He has to play football. Why would he want to play baseball? So let's talk about this for a second. So the baseball people's argument is, down the road, there's going to be a bigger payday for baseball. He's not going to be getting drilled, all the time. Less likely to get injured in baseball. He has a smaller frame. He's a smaller guy. And the football people are like, well, he's so good at football. He gets more of that upfront payday. And, he has been playing football and he's been really good at it. And, he's a star. And this is what I gotta say. This is my thoughts on it. So I just kind of laid out the two sides kind of briefly. Now I'll give you my thoughts. So this is what I think. First off, let's talk about his size here for a second. So this has been a topic of conversation, and one of the knocks on him, I guess, and there's not many knocks on him, but one of them is his physical size. And the height isn't something that really bothers me. I'm like, okay, he's short, but you know what? Russell Wilson's short, Baker Mayfield's short, and they seem to be doing fine. But the thing that does worry me is just his muscle mass, I guess. If you put him next to Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield, I'm sure, I haven't seen a picture of all three of them lined up, obviously, I don't think that's happened, but you could actually just compare separate pictures. That was stupid. They don't actually need to all be in the same picture. You can look at different pictures, Lauren. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Kyler Murray is smaller muscle-wise compared to these guys. And, he's younger than them, so that, makes sense. He can hit the weight room, he can focus on that, yada, yada, yada. But the concern there is, since he is a runner, since he is basically a dual-threat quarterback, he can move, he's super athletic, that's one of the parts of his game. Something that concerns me is when he takes those big hits in the NFL consistently, how is he going to hold up, right? I mean, you see Cam Newton. Cam Newton's a dual threat, he runs a lot, and he's a huge guy, and guess what? He's still getting hurt. And Cam Newton compared to Kyler Murray, Cam Newton looks like a monster compared to Kyler Murray. So that is something that does concern me, but this is what he can do. He can hit the weight room, build up muscle, but he can also, his throwing, his passing accuracy, all of that is going to develop. He can make the throws, but he's going to be able to make more once he, develops more. Think about it. This was really his first full season as a starter. So think about what he can do once he really just gets in there and polishes all of his different throws and his arm and all that. Then he's not going to have to, I guess, I don't want to say rely as much on the run because he doesn't really rely on it. It's just the skill of his game, but I think he'll be able to be smarter while running and, you know, avoid taking those hits. Kind of how Russell Wilson plays, I guess. You know, he does run, but he really is a passer. He can make the throws and all of that. So that would be, I guess, the ideal situation for Kyler Murray. Another thing I want to bring up for the baseball side of things is he just came off a crazy year. Probably, I would want to say one of the craziest years of his life. I don't know him, I don't know his life, but I would have to imagine going to the college football playoff, winning the Heisman all in one year. I think that's a pretty crazy year for anyone. So that's the last thing he did. Football is the last thing he did, and football was very good to him. So that's that memory he has of football in his mind. And I think that's very hard. I think that'd be very hard for anyone to be like, okay, now I'm just going to go play baseball, like, goodbye football, and leave it at such a high note. I feel like anyone would want to be like, okay, is there more, you know, I could do with this? I feel like it's very hard to say goodbye to something after you just had that incredible experience with it. Another thing about baseball, I know I just said another thing about baseball. This is the thing I meant to bring up about baseball, but I was reading an article. I don't remember where I read this article, but some article said this. Some article brought up this great point that in baseball, yeah, he's invited to the big league spring training, but he's not going to just start on the Oakland A's come the summer or come the spring. He's got to go through the minor league system, and this is kind of tying back to the point I just made, and this is kind of what I meant to bring up before that point, but he was just a star all over Instagram, all over Facebook, every social media thing, always trending on Twitter on Saturdays and even not on Saturdays, I guess. I mean, he was a star. So now to go back down into the minor league baseball system where you're not, you know, really a star, you're not on that platform, I think that's a tough, you know, change to make for anyone. I'm not just saying this like, oh, Kyler's the only one that can't do this, but I think that'd be hard for anyone, you know what I mean? You're sitting up there like a king, you know, Heisman winner, college football playoff. I think that's a hard move. I think that's a hard decision too. And yes, I get baseball, long-term, big contract, less wear and tear on the body, but if he goes into the NFL draft, he's going to get, I guess, that big payday up front, or not a huge one, but a bigger payday right then and there. He's going to be on that NFL roster, and probably for whichever team that drafts him, if he does declare, speaking hypothetically here because we don't know yet, but whichever team does draft him is probably, I feel, going to look for him to be the starter. That's what I feel. He's probably going to get a chance to be the starter right out of camp. I don't know if he isn't. He'll probably sit for a few games and work some things out, but then, you know, he's almost right back where he was at Oklahoma, just trending on Twitter, all over Instagram, just being the star that he is, because he is a star. He's so athletic. Just the way he plays is so electric and so fun to watch. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I wouldn't say I'm surprised by this news, because I felt we all kind of thought in the back of our heads, like, maybe there's a little chance he does, you know, play football. He's not, and like with those questions at the Heisman ceremony, he wasn't really saying, no, I'm not playing football, I'm going to play for the A's. He wasn't directly saying that or anything. So, you know, it left that little bit of hope, and here we are. So I guess we're going to have to wait till Monday, because like I said, Kyler hasn't said anything, his agent hasn't said anything. So, I mean, and those are the people who are, you know, going to be, I guess, making that official announcement when it does happen. So, it's definitely exciting, though. It's definitely an exciting thing, because like I've been saying and like people have been saying, this quarterback class isn't nearly as good as last year's quarterback class, but Kyler Murray being in it, I feel like that would change everything. I feel like Dwayne Haskins might still go before him, but I don't think Kyler Murray would be far behind. At the end of the day, what I really think this comes down to, though, is what Kyler likes more. Does he like baseball more, or does he like football more, and which one does he want to do for this next period of his life, because, you know, he might not want to do baseball even though there's more long-term money if he's going to be miserable. I mean, who wants to do that? I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know what he's thinking in his head, but if he loves football, he's probably going to want to play football, I guess. And I mean, if he loves football, I'd be like, go for it. Do what you love. Be happy, you know? That sounded really weird. But, you know, yeah, happiness is a good thing. Personally speaking, I would love to see him play in the NFL, being honest here. I think that would be super exciting. Like I said, he's so electric when he plays, so athletic. You can tell how athletic he is when he's playing football. I mean, you can probably tell when he's playing baseball too. I personally haven't seen him play baseball, but I think it would be really, really fun to watch him play on Sundays and to see what else he can accomplish. But you know what? It would also be cool to see him play baseball while playing football. I don't know if that's possible. If he could somehow pull that off, I think that would be cool, but I think the odds of that happening are very slim. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Make sure to drop a like and comment down below what you think Kyler Murray is going to do. And yeah, that's it guys. Make sure you subscribe. Peace out.